I have my glasses on, no makeup, eyebrows aren't even done, babe. Nothing, nada, nada, nada. I'm okay with it, but I hope it just doesn't look goofy. Hey, hey, how y'all doing? Hello. I'm sure everybody at this point has forgotten who I am, so it's worth the reintroduction. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bedroom Club podcast. My name is Adana. Nice to meet you if it's your first time watching. Nice to see you again if you do watch regularly. I'm like recording this podcast with my tail between my legs because I have not uploaded a new episode of this podcast. I don't know. I haven't uploaded an episode in a few months. I think the last time I uploaded was either late August, early September. So that was about 2 months ago. I am back, and my sincerest apologies for the hiatus. And we did this before. Like when I went to Peru, I also didn't upload for 3 weeks. I feel that there were more valid reasons then as to why I didn't post for those 3 weeks. And if I look back on these 2 months that I haven't posted, I don't know if there are valid reasons. And again, we'll talk about it. I want to talk about it. I think that this episode might be more of like a stream of consciousness sort of situation, just like talking through my feelings and all that. All that jazz. I mean, I guess we can just hop right into it. First, I guess we can start with any life updates, but I don't have any life updates, honestly. I still work at the same place. I still sing at the same church. I think I spoke about it before, but when I sing at my church, I sing with the youth ministry. So it's like a little bit of a smaller, like, subsection of my church. But I am gonna start singing upstairs at like the main worship services, which is really exciting. I actually have my first training for that this weekend. So, very cool, awesome. It's a blessing and a nice opportunity. But genuinely, other than that, I don't think I have too many updates. If any come up over the course of the episode, I'm sure we'll dive into it. I'm actually gonna take off my glasses for now. Yeah, I'm gonna take off my glasses because the glare, like, it's just too much. I don't know. If you can hear my washing machine in the back, apologies. I'm running a load of laundry right now. It feels like it's really loud, and I know that this mic very easily picks up on things like that. So if it is loud, my bad, y'all. Let's chat, guys. Let's talk about where I've been, what's going on. As I said in the beginning, it's been a couple of months since I uploaded a podcast episode, which I hate for me. I'm like, I think I said it before, but recording this episode with my tail between my legs, like, it's embarrassing to have not uploaded in so long with no like real reasons. Although I want to talk through some of like what I've been thinking. And I really don't know how I fell down this spiral of not recording and not like editing and posting. I do find that sometimes I have a little bit of trouble balancing like my life with the podcast. Obviously, I work, but then it's like I don't even consistently work 40 hours every single week. Some weeks I do, some weeks I don't. So it's like, is there really an excuse? I don't know. If I had to guess myself, like it feels like these last 2 months have been a blur a little bit, but I think if I had to guess, this probably all started because maybe I was like busy for a couple of weeks and then I just let myself keep falling down the hole of like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. And then it's only now that I'm getting to it. And what's funny is I actually have an episode like sitting in my drafts. It's not fully edited, but I'm like halfway through having edited it. I can't. I'm like halfway through editing it, and it was like a concert log. Around the time that Ariana Grande tickets were going on sale, I made a podcast episode about all the concerts that I've been to, just like detailing them, etc., etc. And I have been editing it. It's been taking me a really long time to edit it, honestly. I'm bringing that up just for context that like there is literally an episode that I could post pretty quickly because it's like already recorded, like halfway edited. And you might be wondering, why haven't you posted that? That was like 2 months ago. I think I've been going through something, and not even realizing that I was going through it. And like, I feel like I've been in a little bit of a funk, maybe. And I think that I am someone who, when I am going through a funk and like when I fall out of routine, which happens more often than I think I'd like to admit, it's not always clear to me when I'm going through something, if that makes sense. I have a hard time like identifying it, I feel, but I'm looking back at these last 2 months of life and I genuinely cannot tell you like what I've been doing with my days. I feel like every day is the same, like derogatory. Like everything is the same and I have not been doing anything worthwhile with my time really. I don't really know where that stems from. I feel like I'm someone who, am I gonna cry in this episode? I don't know. I'm, for some reason I feel myself getting emotional. I don't know why, but probably won't cry though. Because I'm just gonna think it's a little too funny, a little too silly to cry. I think I'm someone who is not as in tune with my feelings and emotions as I'd like to be, or as I see some other people are. I'm sure that also what I'm describing is like a really common feeling though too. But and this happens a lot with my friends too. Like they'll ask me how I feel about something or like how I am, and I feel like my default answer is always just like I'm good, like I'm fine, everything's fine. And it's like, I'm not just saying that and like secretly covering something up. I genuinely think like everything is good and fine. But then I do like inventory of like my life and, really think about how I'm feeling. And I'm like, maybe I'm actually not okay. Cause if I was like feeling all good and normal and happy and everything, I would be pouring my effort or my time into things that I enjoy doing. And I have definitely found that over the last couple months, I haven't really been doing that. And I don't know. I'm really not sure what that is or why that is. I just don't know. I feel like I've fallen out of routine with a lot of things that are important to me. And oh, I feel like I'm about to start crying. But oh my gosh. Wait. Chill, chill, chill. I'm also on my period. So maybe that is partly why I'm a little bit emotional. But like, I don't know. I think sometimes I just really struggle with like holding myself. I'm actually like crying right now. Just give me 1 second. I think I struggle a little bit with treating myself well. Everybody shows themselves love in like their own way. And I think I just don't do it for myself at all. Like, I don't, again, it looks differently for everybody, but like, for example, this podcast is something I genuinely enjoyed doing. Like, right now, I'm like, dang, I haven't done this for 2 months. This is so fun. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying it. And I don't know why I haven't like used this more, or I don't know why I haven't let myself express myself in this way because I genuinely do enjoy it. I think sometimes I forget the things that bring me joy or that bring me fulfillment, and then I end up just feeling nothing, maybe. I don't really know. I don't know. I think that that's true for a lot of things, though. Like, this podcast is something, but like, I've also really been struggling. I'm about to start crying again, but I have really been struggling with my faith a little bit. Guys, this is not what I thought that this episode was going to be. Okay, chill. I don't think I've been struggling with like believing what I believe. I believe what I believe. I believe it's true. But I've been struggling with like being disciplined in it, I guess. I've been really struggling with my prayer life and just even reading my Bible. The part of my faith that I feel like I'm more consistent in is worship. And I think that that's partly because I serve on the worship team at my church. So, like, there are 2 to 3 weekends a month dedicated to that. And I also do, like, enjoy listening to worship music in my daily life. Like, I genuinely do. And I think that in that way, like, worship has been a constant, but other parts of my relationship with the Lord have definitely fallen flat. And I'm trying to be better about it and more conscious. And like, I don't know. I know people talk about that like on fire feeling and not you might not necessarily feel on fire for God all the time, but still like giving your time. And I just think I have really been struggling with giving my time to God. And like it sucks because like I don't want to be doing that. I don't know. I don't want to be doing that. Like I wish I was reading my Bible every day. And if I'm just being honest and truthful, I haven't been. I read it. I wouldn't say I don't read it for like multiple days on end, but there was a time that like I was reading it every single day and I really felt connected with the Lord, but also like I just felt better. I felt more energized throughout the day. I felt more like rooted in what I believe. And right now I just feel I don't feel that way. And that sucks. There are many areas in my life where I feel like that. I talked a little bit about like, you know, we'll come back to the podcast topic, honestly, because I want to talk more about why I feel like I haven't been inspired, I guess, to make episodes. I also think even just like going to the gym, like this week is my first week back at the gym in like probably 2 to 3 months. Like this is the most I've gone to the gym in months, genuinely. And this is only day 3. I feel like I haven't been moving my body and like releasing energy with my body. I haven't been eating as well as I once was, like all these different things. And I think everything is just starting to like add up. And I'm like really starting to look at my life and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Are we wasting away our days? And I don't want to look back at my life whenever it ends. Only God knows, but like I don't want to look back on it in regret or feeling like I didn't treat myself well or that I didn't like soak up every day. And I think I'm definitely in a spot right now where I am doing exactly that. Like I'm not soaking up every day, just like laying around. My screen time is so high. Oh my gosh, help me. Like I just need to break my phone at this point. Screen time is so high. Like my attention span, horrible. Got so addicted to my phone that watching a movie feels productive. Like watching a movie and not touching my phone feels like I did a task. What? It never used to be that way. Like the movie was the luxury. And now it's like, no, watching a movie is the productive thing. Are we serious right now? I'll be watching a TV show, commercial break, go on my phone. Go on my phone until the commercial break is over, go back to the TV. Like I don't know. Life just feels like it's passing me by a little bit. I'm starting to feel this way where I'm really starting to look around at like my high school classmates and like people that I know, my friends, whatever, people that are my age. And I'm really starting to feel that like uh gap being created in our lives. And I know that people say it's so stupid to like compare yourself to other people. And it is, and I know that, but it is hard not to. People in my life or people around me, my classmates, my friends, like they're moving out, they're, getting new jobs, they're doing all this stuff. And I just feel very like stuck in the same place sometimes. I think I'm definitely sitting with that feeling right now where it's like, whoa, I don't know like what I'm doing with my life and I don't know how to make myself feel like I'm doing something with my life. I'm trying to like get back on track with those things that I mentioned before, so like recording this podcast, reading my Bible more, praying more, um going to the gym, whatever. I'm trying to like get re-grounded a little bit. I think also like it's fall, and I will say fall is my favorite season. I know a lot of people feel like, maybe the beginning of the year is like a fresh start for them, or, some people feel like summer is a fresh start for them. I don't know. But for me, I feel like fall feels like, okay, like let's lock back in. Let's remember who we are. Let's, be a normal person again. I also love being like outside when it's fall. And I think that being outside, like getting natural sunlight, getting the, feeling the fresh air on your face, at least for me, helps me feel like, okay, like I'm here, like I'm alive. Sorry for crying. Sorry for crying, guys. I don't know. Life is hard. It's hard to watch people around you start to like take ownership of their lives a little bit, and I still think I'm struggling with that. And I know it's just like a personal journey, and you know you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. It's just hard not to, I guess. Something I've been thinking about a lot, which like I don't know, might make me cry again if I say it out loud, but I just feel like I never thought that my life was gonna look this way, if that makes sense. If you had asked me when I was in high school, like who I thought I would be, what I thought I would be doing at 23, mind you, I'm 23 and I know that that is so extremely young. And I think like being in my situation, I'm not in any like particularly precarious situation, but now that I am actually 23, I'm like, oh, like when I was 18, I thought 23 was so old, but now I'm 23 and I'm like, I still feel like a baby a little bit. And I don't know if that's just because I'm not treating myself like an adult or I'm not in the situation to be an adult. Like I'm still living at home or I don't know what it is, but something is making me be like, okay, wait, girl, chill. You like 23 was never that serious. I truly thought like, I thought I was going to be going to college out of state and, I thought I was going to be living alone and like doing all of these things, like living in a big city, whatever, whatever. Like, and I know that those were just like fantasies and not necessarily real life, but it is hard when not everybody, but so many people around me are starting to like get to that phase in their lives where they are living in other places and they have their big girl job. Like I still have the same job that I had when I was 17. My role at this job has changed, mind you. Like it's been the same job, but I've had a lot of different positions over that time. But it still feels a little bit like I'm stuck. Like same job since I was 17, same car since I was 17, living in the same, we did move, so I guess not living in the same exact house, but still living at home since, been living at home since I was 17. All of these things feel very much the same. Like I just feel like I haven't undergone much life change, and that's making me feel a little bit like behind in a sense. And I know that people are going to be like, you shouldn't feel that way. And like I know I shouldn't feel that way, but I do. And I think I'm just trying to like navigate the reality of that feeling. I think it's worse when I just like try to ignore it, because majority of the time I do just try to ignore it. And I think that almost makes it worse because then I'm not like valuing my life or my time or myself. I'm just like, yeah, like I don't feel great about where I am in life. And I just like keep going instead of actually making moves to make me feel better about my life. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I just feel very like stuck, I guess, or behind in life. And it's hard to get out of that like funk. And I'm trying. Again, I feel like it's about to be November. Like, this is the season where I usually feel unstuck. Like, I start reading more. I start, like I'll go outside a little bit more. I wear clothes that I'm more comfortable in. Like, and I know that those are such dumb little things, but like truly, this is my season where I thrive. It always makes me feel refreshed. So I think now that we're in that season, I'm ready to like, I think I said it before, but like I'm ready to be normal again. Honestly, a lot of those things is like the first time I've articulated them at all. I also don't really talk to people about my feelings, I think. But again, it's not because I'm intentionally like trying to be mischievous or like deceptive or not, you know, I'm not intentionally trying to be closed off. A lot of times I genuinely just don't think about my feelings and I don't really process them. I think I feel things, but it's very internal and I don't always externalize them. So then it comes across like I'm not very emotional or like I'm maybe a little bit closed off or secretive about my feelings. But honestly, like I just I don't have a brain, basically is what I'm saying. No, but I I am gonna try to think through my feelings a little bit more, talk to people more, talk about my feelings more. Because I think I just bottle things up sometimes. And it's like it's unintentional to the point where like I genuinely have no idea that I'm bottling up certain feelings or certain emotions, and then they spill out in front of a camera with a mic in my hand. So there you go. I did want to talk to you about why specifically I haven't been recording the podcast. Because I talked a little bit about just like how I've been feeling with life, I guess, and all of that. But I do think that in regards to the podcast in particular, like I have also been having some complex feelings about it because I'm having so much, like right now I'm doing this so much fun. I'm having so much fun. Wish I could have been having this fun for the last 2 months. Like I forgot how much I enjoyed this, genuinely. I do think that there's been a little part of me feeling a sense of like imposter syndrome maybe, or feeling like what I have to say doesn't matter. I've just been feeling uninspired. Maybe that's a better word to like sum up everything. And I think it's for a couple different reasons. The past few episodes that I have posted are topics that I had thought a lot about. Like this podcast is something that I literally, from the time that we were like in COVID isolation, I was thinking about making this podcast. So a lot of topics were ones that I had come up with a really long time ago, and I've had a lot of time to think about them and think about my feelings on them, which is most certainly not to say that my podcast has been extremely put together. If you have been keeping up, you know that that's not the case. With this feeling of like nothing has changed in my life, nothing has changed in my life, it also makes it harder for me to think about things to talk about on a weekly basis, especially when a lot of the topics that I talked about before are ones that I came up with a really long time ago. And like, it's been an ever growing list. I still have things that I haven't spoken about that I do want to talk about. So it's not like I've completely emptied out my tank less than 10 episodes in. I'm just maybe having trouble feeling like what I have to talk about is important or worth the episode, maybe. I know that sounds probably a little bit depressing. I'm like, my words don't matter, my voice doesn't matter. I'm gonna get over that feeling for sure. I will say too, the past few topics have been a little bit emotional, like not crying emotional, but just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always asking like a philosophical question of like myself. I think also like, oh my gosh, I was talking about myself so much. It's so hard for me to talk about myself that much. I'm like, enough, nobody cares. I have most certainly been thinking about it, and I will say, I think it might be a good idea for me to, in regards to this podcast, kind of vary the things that I'm talking about a little bit more so that it doesn't feel so focused on myself, because I definitely think it has been very self-focused, which is nothing wrong with that because it is my podcast. Like I started it with the intention of talking about myself, but I think I just started to feel like there's no change happening in my life. I have nothing to talk about. And which maybe isn't true. Like maybe if I probed myself a little bit more, I would be able to find things to talk about. But for someone who already has trouble like seeing the complete value of her life, and that sounds depressing. Don't take it as depressing, please. But I think as someone who like sometimes I take my life for granted, it's hard then to come up with topics from my life because I'm already like not treating my life well, if that makes sense. Saying all that to say that as I navigate that feeling and, start to really understand like what my life means, what I can do with my life, whatever, romanticize it, as they say. I think I can also just talk about other things. Over these 2 months, like, yes, I've been feeling very uninspired, but I will say I have also been watching a lot of video essays about random little topics. Like, I love watching Mina Lay is a big one. I recently found Lonnie's Lens. She's another YouTuber who, like, posts videos that I'm really enjoying. And I'm sure that there's more that I can't even think of right now. People doing deep dives on like TV shows, literally just any topics. And I think that this would be maybe a cool place to try doing that. Just to kind of break up the emotional, self-focused topics. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think I was starting to feel a little bit like useless, maybe. In that sense, like I'm just like, I have nothing to talk about, like nothing's going on in my life, yada yada yada. Again, probably not true. If I thought about it, I could come up with more stuff. I still have more stuff that I can talk about, but maybe every episode doesn't necessarily have to be that. At least until I get my life back on track, maybe. With that being said, I think another reason why I've been feeling maybe a little bit more down in the dumps than I even realized is that I feel very unstimulated by life. And I have been missing school so much over the past few months. Like, I graduated about a year and a half ago. Really like 2 years ago, because I finished my classes in December. So like December 2023. It's now basically November 2025. So it's been about 2 years since I was in school. I do partly miss academic validation. It's just so nice to get an A on something. It's like, yes, it's so nice to put your work into something to get a good grade. And I think I am someone who did definitely used to thrive off of academic validation. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I did. But I do think another enjoyable part about school for me was genuinely the brain stimulation that happened when I was in school. Just working your brain to do stuff. Like, to the point where a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in my room, in my bed, on my iPad.com, answering SAT math questions. Like, that is how dumb and, like, unstimulated I have been feeling. And unstimulated? Is that a word? Is that the word? I've just been feeling very lazy. My brain's been feeling very lazy. Again, never thought that this would happen to me. I thought I was going to be in a career that was going to be stimulating my brain. I think because I thought I was going to be like hotshot, big time smarty, I'm not that right now. And I think I've been feeling very unstimulated in that sense too. Like, I don't know, I just feel like my brain is not being put to use. Saying that to say that I think maybe I want to use this podcast to like research topics a little bit more, and talk about things that are just like happening in life, talk about different phenomenons. I don't know, like I actually don't really know what that means going forward. Um, but there are definitely things that I think I could talk about, like, and it doesn't have to be the most intellectual or political or whatever X topic it might be. I think I need something that I can pour time and effort into, which is this podcast, but in a way that feels a little bit more intellectual. And I think the past few episodes, not that I've been stupid, but it's just like I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about my feelings. That doesn't really require, it requires some like reflection, but not like research, like cold hard facts. And I think that this could be a cool place to do it. I think I would maybe feel a little bit better. We'll see. We'll see if that's what I end up doing. I definitely want to try. So basically, long story short, if you notice that the next few episodes are about maybe more niche topics and I sound a little bit more like put together and less self-focused, that's why. And also, if you have any topic suggestions, recommendations, requests, let a girl know so that I can dive into those things. Yeah, guys, that's basically where I've been. That's how I've been feeling. I am just so sad, honestly, that I haven't posted in 2 months because I genuinely enjoy it and I enjoyed the consistency of posting and I enjoyed feeling like I did something. And I just haven't been giving myself that reward of pouring time into something and effort into something and like getting out a product. And yeah, I'm sad that I let myself go, I guess, for the past 2 months. But I'm also happy to be kind of back on track a little bit. I think I talked about this in other episodes, but I will be back on track for like 2 days and then the next 2 days, like I completely fall apart again. I think that's very true with my moods too. Like, I kid you not, like maybe last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was literally telling my friends how I've been loving like the fact that I have such a flexible day and like life is very loose right now, but like I need to, enjoy that and all that stuff. And now I'm saying like the complete opposite, basically. It's not the complete opposite, but I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I think my moods can sometimes be very up and down. And I know some people are watching this like, girl, they have a word for that. Go to therapy. Maybe I will go to therapy. Honestly, I have been thinking about going to therapy for years, and I just think it would maybe be nice to go to therapy. I do think it would be nice to maybe talk through things with people in a very structured way, because if it's up to me, I'll never talk about anything ever. And I think it would be nice to talk to someone like a therapist. I do think if I was to actually consider going to therapy, I would definitely want a therapist who is similar to me. Like, I think I would probably be looking for a Black female Christian therapist, just so that I could talk about everything. I think that's another thing too. It's just a lot. But I think another thing is that I feel like I have very niche friends. Like a lot of my friends that I hang out with don't share my faith, which there's no problem with that. But it's hard sometimes to dive into like all of my life and maybe things I'm struggling with when it comes to my faith because like they might not get it. And again, that's not me saying that they need to get it or like trying to force anything on anyone, but it does make it hard for me sometimes. I'm not like ashamed of my faith. They know where I stand in regards to faith, religion, all that stuff. I think it makes it hard to want to share maybe or to share everything because some things they're just going to be like, girl, I don't get it. Maybe they don't care. And, to each their own. But I probably need more people in my life that I can talk about those things with. Anyway, saying all that to say that having a therapist that maybe has those same beliefs or at least would understand what I'm trying to say might be helpful. So, might look into that. But to get back on topic, I think I'm someone who my moods can be a little bit up and down. And I think that also makes it hard for me to keep track of how I'm feeling because for one week I'll be like, yas, life is so amazing. I love everything. And then the next week I'll be like, so lost, like, nothing means anything. Like, what's the point? And I just think that there's a lot of these different waves. And I need to, like, get somewhere in the middle, And I think a lot of that will be me getting back into the Word and reading my Bible again. There's like so many chapters in the Bible on this feeling that I'm describing, and I know this. So I do think part of it will just be like re-grounding myself in my faith because I've been slipping. And I also think maybe just talking to people, talking to a therapist would probably help me. I've been feeling weird. Basically, this podcast is all about how I've been feeling weird. I'm like, what's going on actually? What's going on with me? Like, I don't even know what's going on with me. I don't even know what's going on with me. But we're gonna get it together, guys. I am back. I'm here. This podcast might take I wouldn't say a turn, but just like a little pivot, Nothing too crazy, but I do wanna get back to putting effort into this and maybe doing it in a way that's like a little bit more interesting than just me talking about myself. We'll see. If that makes you not want to listen, I completely understand and I love you still. I'll go ahead and start wrapping it up by doing our media of the week. Of course, we can't forget, despite all the tears, despite all the hiatus behavior from me, I did remember about media of the week. Media of the week. Media of the week. Okay. I would say show. I'm like obsessed with Dancing with the Stars right now. Not gonna lie to you. Obsessed with Dancing with the Stars. Genuinely, this cast specifically is like so good. There's just so many people on this cast that I knew before the show started. So it made me very interested to see like what they were gonna do. Now that I'm actually seeing them dance, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I'm tuned in every single Tuesday. I'm tuned in. Well, like Tuesday/Wednesday, because I don't have Disney Plus, so I do watch the episodes the day after, but I usually keep up on Twitter the night of. I don't really vote that much, which I should vote, like literally use your vote, girl. I voted one time. I used all 10 of my votes on one person a few weeks ago, and it was Elaine, and I wasn't even watching the freaking episode. But I just didn't want her to go home. I would say on Dancing with the Stars, I'm currently rooting for, okay, let me tell you. In no particular order, Whitney and Mark, Jordan and Ezra, Alex and Val, Robert and Whitney. My final four. I really like Elaine and Alan, and I really like Dylan and Daniela. I know that people have a lot of opinions on Dylan Efron on Dancing with the Stars. I'm personally really enjoying him, and I don't care what you guys have to say. But yes, those are my final four. Jordan, Whitney, Alex, and Robert. And I'm sure that one of those four is going to win. But I wouldn't be mad if Elaine won, mind you. I also really do like Danielle as well. I think she's doing really well. I just need to see more emotion in her face for me, like, really root for her. But loving Dancing with the Stars, though. Like, I'm getting, like, obsessed with the pros and all of their lore. The pros, like, so many pros have dated. broken up, married, divorced. Like, it's super messy. So I'm loving the prose tea as well. Get Andy off my show, and I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but it's just like he's not doing as well as the other dancers, and that's okay. That doesn't say anything about him as a person. I'm sure he's lovely. He seems great. Get him off my show. The amount of people that have gone home before him is astounding to me, and I know that it's because people just like love him. They find him really lovable and sweet, and they like feel bad partly, and I love that for you guys. Stop voting for him though. Truly, the one elimination that like genuinely angers me still is Lauren in week 3. Lauren and Brandon. The fact that they got eliminated week 3, but y'all won't get rid of Andy. He's not doing as well as everybody else. I don't think it's fair. Andy, you've done great. Enough. I recently rewatched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So if you're looking for a movie, I just told them I need to watch When Harry Met Sally ASAP. No Rocky, actually. Love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Great movie. Rewatched it the other day. Chef's Kiss, love it. I think that's all for like TV show, movies, music. I would say Olivia Dean, new album. It's just phenomenal. From front to back, from top to bottom, Olivia's new album, The Art of Loving, is so good. I honestly think like most people have probably heard at least a couple songs from it because it kind of is blowing up. But yeah, standout tracks for me, other than the singles, I would say Let Alone the One You Love is phenomenal. I really like Close Up, and I really like is So Easy to Fall in Love, a single technically. I don't know, but I really like that song, and Baby Steps. Those are my top 4 aside from the singles. It's so good. I feel like it's actually really good for fall. Like, it's a really good fall type of album. Probably that is my song recommendation. So just anything on the album, so good. But those are my favorites personally. Book update. I'm currently reading Beartown by I don't know if it's Friedrich or Frederick, but I'm gonna say Frederick. I could be wrong. Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Loving it so far. I'm about 100 pages in. Loving it so far. I really feel myself getting like connected and interested in all the characters, and I haven't gotten to like the point where the tragedy happens, which I don't really know what happens. Back of the book summary is telling me that something is happening, something is going to happen, and I'm like literally reading it a little bit anxious, a little bit on the edge of my seat because I'm just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Loving it thus far though. Great, very well written. Like, it's kind of confusing in a way because there's so many characters that are being introduced, but it's done in a way that's very clear, and like everything is just adding up, and I'm picking up what he's putting down, and I'm so scared for when the bad thing happens. I don't know what it is, but I'm scared. But yeah, loving it so far. I went to Barnes and Noble the other day and I got a couple of books. I got Beartown by Frederick Bachman, and then I got The Neighbor Favor, Neighbor Favor, something, I don't know, by Christina Forrest. I just like got that book as a recommendation from a booktuber that I like, Ed and Jonas, and she read this book, I think. So that's why I saw it and I was like, oh, I couldn't remember the name of the book for so long. I only remembered the cover, and I couldn't find it because like I just remembered like a blurry image of the cover. But then I saw it in Barnes and Noble and I was like, oh, this is the book. So I picked it up. I'm probably going to read that next. We shall see. And then I also bought A Case for Christ because it's a book. I think it's a book that has been adapted into a movie since, but I actually haven't watched the movie before either. So I'm excited to read the book. I'm going to try to read the book first. Who knows? Maybe I'll read the book and watch the movie in tandem, but I'm excited to read the book. So those are on the horizon, but yeah, currently reading Beartown. And I'm really loving it so far. Hopefully by the next time you guys hear from me, I'm done with it. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you thought me crying was cringe, I'm so sorry. I kind of felt like it was cringe a little bit, but release yourself from cringe at the same time. So it's fine. I appreciate your time. I love you guys so much. So sorry about the hiatus. I'm just like embarrassed. So I think I don't want to over apologize because it's like annoying to me that I even did it, but I explained what's been going on. So hopefully the explanation makes sense, or if you hate me, I understand that too. But I love you still. I'm recording this on a Thursday night. So the plan is to edit it. I might have to get a Red Bull, but the plan is to edit it today so it can go up tomorrow. So it's going to be a tough turnaround. But in any case, I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Love you guys as always. And yeah, have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Halloween, so if you're going out for Halloween, be safe, be careful, take care of yourself and the people that you are with. But yeah, love you guys. Bye.